In this lecture, we are going to study the time domain representation of the single sideband. Now, this is my message signal, and I can divide this message signal into two halves, the right half and the left half. Let me call the right half as m plus f and the left half as m minus f. Now, m plus f is actually equal to, I can write this as that m plus f is actually equal to m of f multiplied by u of f, where u of f is my step function. Similarly, m minus f can be written as, this left side band can be written as m of f u minus f. Now, to represent this step function in terms of signum function, we can write this step function in terms of signum function as that u of f is equal to half 1 plus signum function of f. Similarly, for the negative case, u minus f, that will be equal to 1 by 2 1 minus signum of f. So let me replace u of f in this equation. We are going to get, I am going to replace this u of f in this equation. So now m plus f is going to become, m plus f is going to be equal to m of f multiplied by this thing, which is 1 by 2 into 1 plus signum of f. So let me simplify it. This will be equal to m of f divided by 2 plus m of f into signum of f divided by 2. Now what I am going to do is that I am going to multiply and divide this with minus j. So I am going to multiply and divide this with minus j. So after that, this is going to become m of f divided by 2, and now this can be written as 1 divided by minus 2j. I am going to keep this to one side, this minus 2j, and this will be equal to minus j into signum of f into m of f. These are all multiplied with each other. This is plus and this is multiplied with each other. This term is multiplied with each other. Now if you remember this term, this is actually my Hilbert transform studied in the previous lecture. So this is actually the Hilbert transform of the message signal, which is mh of f. So in place of this, I can write mh of f. So let me write mh of f. Also when this j comes to the upper side, it will become positive. So we are going to get m of f divided by 2 plus 1 by 2 j into mh of f. So this is my m plus of f. Let me name it as equation 1. Similarly, m minus of f is going to be equal to, I am going to directly write it that m minus of f is going to be equal to half into m of f minus j m of h of f. So let me name it as equation 2. So this is my equation for the m plus of f, and this is my m minus of f. Now the single side band SSB can be plotted as such. Now to write an equation for this graph, I am going to only consider the upper side band. So this will be equal to, the upper side band will be equal to the sum of these two terms. So this will be equal to m plus f minus fc plus m minus f plus fc. Now using this equation that m plus f is equal to this thing and m minus f is equal to this thing, I am going to write equation for m plus f minus fc and m minus f plus fc. So this will be equal to, m plus f minus fc will be equal to half into m into f minus fc plus j into m of h f minus fc. So this is for this thing, for this term, and for the second term I'm going to write, for this term I'm going to write half into m into f plus fc minus j m of h f minus fc. Let me name it as equation 3. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to arrange it a bit. So this can be written as upper side band is equal to half into m of f minus fc plus m of f plus fc. And for these two terms, which are the imaginary terms, I am going to take minus 1 by 2j common. So when I take minus 1 by 2j common, this will be equal to m of h f minus fc minus m of h f plus fc. Now if you remember this term, let us take the inverse Fourier transform. And if you remember this term, you can straight away say that this is actually m of t of cosine omega ct, because we have done this so many times. So this is actually my m of t cosine omega ct. So I'm going to write over here that this is my upper side band. We are going to take the inverse Fourier transform and convert it back into the time domain. So this is actually my m of t cosine omega ct. This term is my m of t cosine omega ct. And for this term, for the second term, so this term is done. For the second term, I am going to use the property that we have already studied, the property of Fourier transform that we have already studied, which says that g of t e power j2 pi fct is actually equal to g of f minus fc. So here g of f minus fc is given. We are going to write this. So this will be actually, we can write this as, we can say that this is actually equal to m of h of t. So I'm going to take the m of h of t common, and also the 2j. This will actually be equal to e power j 2 pi fct minus e power minus j 2 pi fct. Let me remove this and let me name it as equation 4. Now this e power j2 pi fct minus e power minus j2 pi fct divided by 2j is actually equal to sine omega ct. So I can write is that upper side band is equal to m of t cosine omega ct minus m h of t, and this is my sine omega ct. So this whole is going to be my sine omega ct, because this thing is my sine omega ct. So this is sine omega ct. So I have write sine omega ct in that place. So let me name it as equation A. And similarly for the lower side band, you are going to get, so for the lower side band, you are going to get m of t cosine omega ct, and we are going to, in that case, we are going to have plus sign over here, and this will be again m of h of t, where m h of t is the Hilbert transform of the message signal. This will be sine omega ct. So let me name it as equation B. So a general single sideband signal can be represented as, so I'm going to write over here, the single sideband signal is going to be represented as m of t cosine omega ct minus plus m h of t sine omega ct. Let me name it as equation C. Now this is an important equation. So this is how we can represent the single sideband in time domain. Now how to perform its coherent demodulation? For coherent demodulation, I need to multiply it with carrier. So let us perform its coherent demodulation. I need to multiply this equation C with the carrier. Let me multiply with 2 cosine of omega ct. So let me write it again. Let me write equation C again and then multiply with 2 omega ct. So in that case, we are going to get, since the single sideband was generally represented as m of t cosine omega ct m h of t sine omega ct. So now for the coherent demodulation, I am going to write over here. For the coherent demodulation, I need to multiply carrier with this single sideband. So let me multiply 2 omega ct over here. So this will be then equal to single sideband of Tn cosine omega ct. So this whole term is going to be multiplied with 2 cosine omega ct. So we are going to get m of t cosine omega ct minus plus mh of t sine omega ct, and this whole needs to be multiplied with 2 cosine omega ct. Now when I multiplied this, I am going to get 2 m of t, and this will become cosine square omega ct. So this will be cosine square omega ct, and then I'm going to have the minus plus sign over here, and this will be m h of t, and then we are going to get 2 sine omega ct and cosine omega ct. Now we are going to use the trigonometric properties. From trigonometric knowledge, we know that this is equal to 1 plus cosine 2 omega ct divided by 2 minus plus mh of t, and this is equal to sine 2 omega ct. So this is equal to sine 2 omega ct. So now this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled out, and we are going to get m of t 1 plus cosine 2 omega ct minus plus mh of t sine 2 omega ct. Now let me multiply with this thing. So we are going to have m of t plus m of t cosine 2 omega ct minus plus, this is mh of t sine 2 omega ct. Now we are going to pass this through a low pass filter, and when this is passed through a low pass filter, this component is going to be filtered out. Only this component will be allowed to pass, and as a result we are going to recover the message signal. So this is how coherent demodulation is done in case of the single sideband. Thank you.